GoPro thinks we are stupid and lazy, and they're right. In today's Quick Tip Tuesday, I'm going to be talking about the latest GoPro Hero 10 firmware update. It was released a couple weeks ago, and how it addresses the fact that indeed we are stupid and lazy, and GoPro is trying to help us and our stupid, lazy selves. Before we jump into that though, a massive thank you to the sponsor of all Quick Tip Tuesdays, Epidemic Sound. You're a creator and you want to make awesome videos with awesome music, but you seem to end up with all this free stuff out there that's just kind of half-rate. And you wish there was a solution out there, one with maybe over 35,000 really awesome music tracks, one with maybe 90,000 sound effects. And you wish that you could access all of that music and all of those sound effects for one low monthly fee. Just go in there, use as many of them as you want, create videos that are as cool as you want them to sound, and put them out there. And you wish that there was a free trial, a 30-day free trial where you could go in, download music, kick the tires a little bit, and see how this whole system works. Well, I'm not a genie or anything, but I can make that wish come true at the first link in the description. Epidemic Sound, go over there, 30-day free trial, get in there, feel it out, actually download some music, like make videos out of those songs and see how much better your GoPro videos are with dope music. Okay, quick backstory here. The GoPro Hero 10 came out recently. A bunch of us YouTubers got it pre-released, and because we are stupid, we all took the camera, we put it to the highest settings that it would go, the highest frame rate it would go, we put it on our table and we hit start, and then we watched it overheat. And then I reached out to GoPro and I was like, hey, it overheated. And they were like, was there any airflow? Like, did you have it mounted so it wasn't touching? Did you use the GoPro how it's actually gonna be used in the real world? Or did you have everything turned on and you were just sitting on your desk in a studio with no airflow? And of course, we all had it in the latter situation. And basically what they were saying was that in different scenarios, you should change different settings so the camera can be at its best and you'll get the best performance out of it. But really what they were saying is that you're lazy and you're stupid and you're not using the GoPro right. Which, again, they're totally right. So insert update 1.16 and there's a brand new feature. Hook your GoPro up to the app, do the firmware update real quick, and now when you swipe down from the top, there's a new icon, a little yellow lightning bolt, like an old Jerry Garcia surfboard. Now tap on that and you pull up this new thing called Video Performance Modes. And Video Performance Modes is essentially back like when GoPro added in the presets, so you can go into a video, I can set up like 6 different video presets and then jump to them quickly. This is kind of like that, but for some of the bigger battery sucking, heat producing things. So in video performance modes, if you have this in the very top one, which is called maximum video performance, it says maximum resolutions and frame rates for stunning image quality and ultra slow motion, which means that nothing is different with the GoPro. If you are in this mode, the GoPro is exactly how it was before the firmware update. But if you go down one, it is called extended battery. And this is limited to optimal video resolutions and frame rates that extend battery life. So let's select that one, we'll swipe up, and now I'm gonna go into my video frame rate options. And now you'll see that like in 5.3K, I can only go up to 30 frames a second. I can't do that 60 frames a second anymore. If I go to 4K, I can only go up to 60 frames a second instead of 120 frames a second. 2.7K, 60, 120? No, if I go to 120 frames a second, it drops me down to 1080. So really it's GoPro is recommending these settings for you if you're looking for extended battery life. So again, nothing's changed on the camera. Really all it is that when you flip into this mode, they are limiting your options so that you only use frame rates and video resolutions that have optimal battery life. So it's not that it's a feature change, it's that they're like putting a limitation on the camera for you because you want extended battery. If you're someone that has like 5 batteries in your pocket, then forget that mode and jump back to maximum video performance. And you can shoot at 4K 120 all day long. You're gonna go through a lot of batteries and you might overheat. All right, and the very last one is tripod stationary video. And this is basically what we were all doing in our garages or studios, whatever we were, all the YouTubers that were testing it indoors like this with no airflow, that's what this mode is for. It is called tripod stationary video, optimized for stationary video, recording without airflow to cool the camera. Hyper smooth video stabilization and GPS are off in this mode. And that's probably the biggest one, that's kind of like where the lazy piece of this comes in, is that without this whole update, you could have just been a person that knew, hey, I'm indoors, it's a little warm, there's not a lot of airflow, video, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna turn Hypersmooth off first before I do that. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna turn GPS off, I'm gonna turn Hypersmooth off, and then I'll film this thing, which if I would have done that on my table, I would have gotten significantly longer record times, and it would have been longer before it overheated, because again, Hypersmooth takes up a ton of processing power on this thing, which creates a ton of heat. And GPS does as well, because it takes a lot for this thing to do GPS. So if you're set up in like a tripod situation, maybe you're doing a time lapse or something like that, like you're time lapsing the sunset, there's no reason to have Hypersmooth on at all. Just turn it off. It will both extend your battery life and give you longer record times before overheating. So those 3 modes that are on there, they're not really new features as much as they are GoPro giving us a way to stay lazy and be able to just push one button, and now Hypersmooth and GPS are just off and I can just go film or flip it over to extended battery, and it gives me the limitation so that I'm not being stupid and running around in 4K 120 all day and burning through my batteries. And that's it for today. GoPro update 1.16. If you don't know whether you have it or not, swipe down, hit the gear icon to go into preferences, and then click on about, scroll down, and you'll see which firmware you currently have, or just hook it up to your GoPro app and it'll tell you have a firmware update available. And then instead of being stupid and lazy like you and I have been since we bought this camera, we'll have that to go into, and we'll actually be in the proper modes with certain things turned off to get the best battery and video performance for our GoPros. Thank you, GoPro, for accommodating us instead of just saying, hey, you guys are being stupid. Hey, this video coming soon. GoPro versus the Action 2, it's coming soon. I've just been kind of back and forth on these 2 cameras and how I use them and this whole thingy-me-bobby, but subscribe, stay tuned, it's coming soon. It really is like the funniest firmware update, because it's really just GoPro saying like, you guys are doing it wrong. What do you, here's, just tap here, do that. We'll make it easy for you guys. Because you're all so stupid and lazy. Oh, man.